Hey there guys, the Swamp Cleaner here, back with another video for you. It's actually the final video for 2019 and the last video for the 2010s. It's been quite a decade. Um, it is New Year's Eve, so I hope everybody is going to be having a good time tonight. If you're drinking, drink responsibly, be safe. And in this video I'm going to touch on maybe a few of the major things that happened this year, and maybe if I can, from memory, go back through the decade and highlight some of the important events that happened throughout the last decade, and to see how we've gotten to where we are and to where we're going into the future. Because 2020 is just less than 12 hours away, actually, at the time of this recording. So again, like I said, everybody, I hope you're having a lot of fun, and let's get started. This year was actually a crazy year, just like any year since I've been really paying attention, which is 2015 on, but we'll get to that. Um, Start out with record cold temperatures, and pretty much it was the coldest winter that we've had in a long time in America, and everybody wanted to scream about climate change, because that's the new whole rage thing. Because I remember reaching back into the decade there in around 2010s, 2011, 12, everybody was dying down from the fever pitch of Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth because none of that stuff was happening. And the whole global warming thing was losing traction. So in that time, they were reformulating, changing, and then they came out poof in 2015 like a shiny penny again with climate change, and it's been ramping up. And then you have Greta Thunberg, and I can only see this continuing in an arc into the 2020s as this being like a fanatical like linchpin of the socialist ideology that we are going to be seeing still spreading in the 2020s, but because the leadership is so incoherent, it's going to just go off the rails. I think you might see some weather underground kind of stuff happening. Who knows? Maybe if these people get fanatical enough, like the Extinction Rebellion people, just to name a few, when it comes to the climate change fanatics. But yeah, it's really been cool because that's one thing I haven't paid because I watched Inconvenient Truth in 2007. This is even going past the decade now. Now we're completely off topic. And I actually saw the counter argument to that, which was a great global warming swindle. And a lot of that information is still being used today, both sides, both information. And it's kind of fun to see how the argument has evolved, especially in this decade and even stretching past further than that. Because that's one topic that I've been paying attention to since I was a kid, is this global warming, climate change stuff. And I've seen all the old global cooling, global like freezing scare stuff, and with Leonard Nimoy and his documentaries that he's done. So that's fun. But that's one thing. Like we had like more hurricanes. There's tornadoes. Like everybody's screaming that weather's happening. Oh no, weather's always happened. But what was that one article that said we had the best decade? That disasters, or like since the 1980s, human fatalities from natural disasters has gone down by 95%. It's just that we're all connected by the internet, that we all see all the death happening on the other side of the globe. So we seem like it's in our backyard, and we think that we're connected to it. So that's why this climate change stuff, it's misguided, it's overblown. It's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better, and that's what I think about that. Um, Another thing that happened this year, which I can relate to when it comes to the decade. Covington, yes, Covington is a great example of finally the final facades have fallen away from the mainstream legacy media, and the average person can just see that it's contrived rubbish that they push just to make money, because they are using the online template to try to get as much money as they can by using rage clicks, etc., etc., etc. Because paper is dying, paper media is dying. It's all going digital. TV is also dying. Like you should CNN's ratings, MSNBC's ratings in the toilet. The only networks ratings who are going up is Fox News. But just like Sticks Hexenhammer says, it's fish in a shrinking pond. All they're doing is cannibalizing each other. There's not like more people just coming in to watch. It's that audience pool is getting smaller. So with what happened with the Covington kids, which is they're still in lawsuit with some of these networks for hundreds of millions of dollars, and hopefully they go through because I mean there needs to be some comeuppance. A lesson needs to be learned. I mean, financially, they need to feel it in their pocketbooks because these people get away with making money hand over fist, especially CNN with their CNN airport network, where they invest $6 million a year in controlling the airways at airports, but then they get a massive return just because of the potential advertisers whose eyeballs are like people's eyeballs get on the screen. The advertisers love that. So it's not even about it doesn't even transform into direct sales. They can't even quantify direct sales. It's just eyeballs reached, and then they quantify. Well, if that's how many people saw it, then we're just going to estimate that out. We extrapolate that this percentage of those people will check our products, and then out of that people, this many will buy the products. So this justifies our buying of the advertisement slot, and then hence CNN makes their money. See, it's all about money. So people have now seen this to be true. I mean, there's all these small things that's happened, and since 2015, since Donald Trump has started railing on fake news, actually, and even though that term wasn't created until after the election with Hillary Clinton, didn't she say fake news? It was after the election that we need to be vigilant against fake news, or however she said after she's wearing purple because she was trying to do a unified color, sending a unified message. Ha 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 ha. There's nothing unifying about that bitch. Anything. Anyway. Um. So yeah, I mean, the media for the past half decade has been in the toilet when it comes to people's opinion of it. But I mean, because of the media's cocksucking of George W. Bush during the Iraq War years, getting all that lovely footage that they love to show on air, all those guns firing and missiles going off. Oh, they love to jerk you off of that. Um, it's already been in the toilet to begin with since the past decade. So I mean, I mean that trend is going to continue into the 2020s. It's going to get worse and worse because the media is moving from different platforms. It's going from TV to more digital, internet based, and I don't think a lot of these big networks such as CNN are fully in gear with trying to compete. But they are um, corralling the likes of YouTube and Google to, excuse me, to censor independent content creators such as myself and other people, and they because it's advertisement, it's money. They're throwing money at YouTube because money. YouTube desperately wants money. YouTube does not want to be the platform that it is. It does not make money the way it does currently. It needs to have big corporate sponsors such as these big networks to come in to subsidize the cost of running the sites, and then they can push their content. And they've already done that. They're already pushing Fox News. They're already pushing CNN, MSNBC. It's all corporatized now. So that's, I mean, they're slow. They've been slow to it, but hey, guess what? In 2019, at the end of 2019, they've gotten the corner. So you know what? I can see. You know what? By 2020, yeah, in the 2020s, they are going to be taking over, trying to be taking over the digital. But then that means there's going to be a black market for information on the web. Or heck, who knows? Maybe we can go back to access television. Maybe Sticks Hexenhammer, Tim Pool, or whoever can get the direct cable access for local TV, and just to give us the patch, and we can just tune in, via via airwave or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So that's yeah. So that's that was interesting how that morphed from how I was talking about from Covington to the fake news and all that. That was interesting. Um, Summertime, you had, of course, everybody presidential uh people start running. Actually, no, that was actually last year, but had in the summer. But so many people are running You can't freaking remember. You have Tom Steyer got in. You got Bloomberg. He got in like in September. All these people getting in, and they're all running these far left platforms. And it's so weird because when Obama was doing, yeah, he was pushing a socially fiscal platform, and but he was still allowing fracking to occur. See what I'm saying? So he was actually more. I mean, in retrospect now, everybody says Obama was the worst. The Democrats now have completely taken like Twitter into one ear and then academia, elitist leftist college types into the other ear, and they're regurgitating out this bladder socialism, and it's scaring everybody. That's why they are trying to just get as much attention from the independent fringe, but the independent fringe is a lot smaller than the independent moderate. So they're going the wrong way. Democrats are going the wrong way, and I can see them getting worse before they get better. So in the 2020s, it's going to be Trump 2020. It's I don't want to predict, but 2024, I think another Republican will win too, unless the Democrats can sort themselves out within 2020 to 2024. But they have to jettison a lot of this baggage of Green New Deals and free college and free this and free that. That's a lot of not free coming out of your taxes kind of stuff. Like your taxes go up kind of stuff. Yeah. And you have to see like Bush. Look, oh, there we go off topic again. Last decade, the 2000s. Bush, um, yeah, he kept, I think, yeah, taxes did go up, but here's the thing. He also, debt went sky high because he was doing war after war. Obama, like, kept on doing those wars. He even said, no, we're not going to do them, and droned people to death. Thousands of people. Uh, Debt still racked up to trillions of dollars. I think what we're at now, 22 trillion. And yes, it still hasn't slowed down under Trump, but it's like a runaway freight train. What are you going to do? It's so freaking hard. In the 2020s, I can just see that even though we are economically strong, and it's been a yo-yo, and that's traditionally what a stock market is, yo-yo, but we've been yo-yoing up. It's been going up. We hit 28,000 this year, and that's another thing. Look at the decade. The decade started, I think, in like 10,000 under Obama. And yes, we were stagnant because of the recession, and we started picking up, but the pace was nowhere near what we wanted to be under Obama. Under Trump, it started to pick up pace, and now we're starting to go up. But when is this bubble going to burst? Eventually, these things always happen. There's a yo-yo effect. So 2020s, and that's the thing. You know what? How funny is that? Predict this: the 2020s will just be massive income, income wealth increases. Ma- um, like profits will go up, and just think about that in the 2020s. And then what happens when the bubble bursts near the end? Just reminiscent of the 1920s, but that was based off of false credit. That was based off of credit, like nothing. Like you're just like, oh, I'm gonna give you this for nothing now. We don't do that anymore. We still do credit, but we restrict because of the massive problems that runaway just free credit in the 20s, and then the bubble burst, and then in 1929 stock market crash. Um, we learn from that, so we restrict credit now. But I can still see that we have like a massive economic boom, and then we crash in the 20s again. How ironic is that? It's a little funny to think. Anyway, now Wall. This is a very conscientious, not conscientious. This is a very hot topic. Sorry, I'm not trying to use a big word when I can use a small word. It's a very hot topic, and a lot of people are misinterpreting what has actually been done on the wall. Key areas and some key areas that include up to like 150 miles or so in certain areas have had their places revamped, such as Old Wall has been revamped, turned into double layer, barbed wire, all that good stuff. Patrols going back and forth monitoring. Okay? And in other areas, more remote areas, and where they need less barrier protection, they've put up those new bollard fences, and that was the total, I think, about 70 miles. So yeah, so Trump is building a wall, but he's doing it in a smart way. He's revamping the areas which need it the most, and that has all been done. And now he's starting to add the areas that just need the wall, or the bollard fence, whatever you want to call it, the barrier. So I think in the 2020s that progression will continue. If you look back through the decade, Obama was and had congressional spending that was being directed towards, but it was moving along at a snail's pace because he was being tied down in courts a lot with a lot of the people who owned land along the wall, along the border down there. The only difference with Trump is that Trump has been able to make deals with a lot of these people who live on the border, and he's quickly been able to gain access to this land and start, if not building the barrier, but getting the land and the subterranean area ready to receive the materials to build the wall. So he's laid the groundwork, quite literally, to get the more areas of the wall done. So I mean, you have to give him that. So that's the clarification when it comes to the wall, because it's a hot topic, and people, even Trump supporters, are arguing with each other. Wink, wink. I think somebody, if they're watching this video, knows who I'm talking about. They like to argue with me about it's Obama's wall. Trump's wall is just Obama's wall, and it's a tit and tat back and forth. And it's a numbers game. It's all a convoluted mess. So that I was just trying to clarify, and I hope I did a good job with that. What do we have? Brexit. There we go. Another hot topic. Brexit 2019. It is finally going to happen. So in 2020, Britain will leave the EU in some way, shape, or form, and I hope them all the best. And they will be able to get trade deals because Trump said, as soon as you guys are clear, we are ready and willing to get a nice trade deal that is equal for both of us and is good for you guys, so you guys can get a strong economy and get yourself adjusted to a more self-sustained economic system. And hey, that's great. That would be great for both of our countries. I mean, the EU is shaking in their little boots now because finally the British people have spoken. They had to take 2 times now to get the message through that they wanted to leave. And I remember back in 2016 because this is when I'm at the height, like really starting to pay attention to everything, like saw the Brexit vote. I'm like, yeah, it was 52 to 48, but the people voted and they want to leave. And then everybody started complaining, no, 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 no. And I just saw it morph over the years. It was just insane how these lefty socialists could just justify saying we need to redo it because it's not accurate because these people are probably racists. These people's votes are not genuine. They're voted for bad intentions, pretty much. How do you know? Like, you're thought policing. How dare you? So I mean, these people throw labels around, claim racism or claim intolerance, and no, this doesn't reflect the ideals of the country. We need to get a revote. And these people bitched and moaned for years, and they almost got away with it. They almost got away with it too. Theresa May, that woman prime minister there, she was screwing everything up. But then now they got Boris Johnson in there, big bad Boris, who's gonna get it done. Hopefully he'll get it done in some way, shape, or form. That is even if they just get out, but they're not going, like, if they're like there's still some obligations or something like that, but they're out where they aren't allowed to be dictated to. That's a start, and then they can hammer out trade stuff later. Just get out, leave. Just please get out. But I mean that's another something that happened this year, which is finally done, which was a saga that was taking place over this decade. Another major thing, back in the decade, Benghazi and that NSA spying and Edward Snowden and all this, that there. I know I'm completely different topic now. It's something that just popped in my head about the decade. It really changed those two uh, um, events. That that also, well, that screwed Hillary Clinton because that made her look really bad. What difference does it make that four men died? Well, it's your failure. It was your watch. Um, but the Edward Snowden and all that stuff, it really made us aware that how intrusive the government is and how much no how it shattered the sense of security around a person's everyday life. Like you can just live your life in uh, being anonymous. But no, the government, it's just a sense that the government is always watching, and it really changed the way we think. But we've also become desensitized and used to it, because you can see that through media and everything. Like the movies nowadays are showing more and more bleaker depictions of dystopian futures than I've ever seen. And I think that mentality will continue in the 2020s. I think it might get better because the whole sense of national, like, populism, like the sense of my country comes first, is coming back, and that's going to be good for everybody. That's going to be good for nations because they can start focusing on the issues that are plaguing them, so we can focus on the issues that are plaguing America, such as how we like to spy on everybody. We need to stop doing that. We need to finally stop doing. We need to finally stop stop having the continuity of government just change the program into another name and hide it all under the rug and continue doing what they're doing when they claim that, oh, we shut the program down. No, we need to just rip off the entire mask of that, just do away with all kinds of spying. We need to get rid of that because it's just it breeds resentment, it breeds distrust, it undermines the institutions of government. So we need to focus on that too in the coming decade. So I think I'm gonna wrap that up here. I know there's plenty more that's happened this year, but this video is going to be running along if I keep talking about it. So I know there's plenty more. If there's anything I missed, which I know I have, just leave it in the comments, everybody. If you like this video, like it, share it, subscribe, and I will see you. I know YouTube, yeah, that's another thing heavy. YouTube has been jerking around us, you content creators, so uh, this new decade, how long we're going to be here, we don't know, but while we're here, just subscribe. You can also find me on alternate platforms like BitChute. I'm on Gab, Minds, those networks. You can also find me there. Links will be in the description. Uh, leave a comment. See you guys in the new year. Hope you guys, like I said, have fun tonight, and you guys have a good one. Swamp Cleaner out.